Hey everybody, Mungo Dark Matter here today, and welcome to Dark Matters. Alright, I've got this new product that I think is really kind of cool. And I had my doubts, but I thought it was cool, so I thought I'd check it out. Here it is right here. Let me put it up so you can see it. It's called Carbocage. And what it is, there are a couple products like this now. I think one's called Key Smart. Also, what it does is it's a key holder, and you've got to assemble it, which is a little bit of a pain. But once it's together, it's great. And what it does is, let me see if I can show you this. See, I can pull my keys out like that. I can pull any key out, so I can pull them out to use it and fold them back in, which is really nice, because what that allows you to do is it makes your key holder kind of like a multi-tool or pocket knife, where you can swing out tools and blades and stuff. And so it works out really nice, and it keeps the keys from jangling around in your pocket, and keeps them from kind of poking holes in your pocket. Thus far, I really like this. At first, I had my doubts. Only real big problem with this is, there's my car key. And the main car key I use, let me see if I can get it right here. I still got another old set of keys. You'll see it's got this like plastic fob thing on it. And that doesn't really work well in this holder. So you need to use a key that doesn't have that plastic on it, but you can get a copy made, unless it's like one of the keys that has a chip in it or something. But a lot of times you can just make a copy, or have a copy made that just has the metal on it, and so that works pretty good. The other alternative is it's also got a thing here. This is where I put the fob on. You could put one key on there and the rest of your keys in that case right there, and that would work as well. But anyway, I'm really impressed with this thus far. Works good, and it's just, you know, I'm gonna, as you can see, I have another keychain. I'm getting another one of these now, and I'm gonna replace some of these keys on that chain. Now here's the other thing, which I try to do periodically, and I need to do now. Look at your keychain. Pull out your keychain. Take a look at it with me. Now, you might only have a couple keys. Some people only keep a couple keys on their chain. Their car key and their house key. And they may even have an office key on there. But they're pretty good about that. Some people are very good about not carrying too many keys. But over time, you have keys that you use temporarily, or you use frequently, or something else replaces them. And you end up with old keys on your chain. And just take a look at your chain and see if you can even identify what all the keys do on there. Particularly if you have smaller keys like this. This is like a mailbox key, but you might have file cabinet keys, padlock keys on there. I have like a little separate thing here with these padlock keys. And I'm gonna, you know, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take some keys and not carry them with me necessarily, because there's some keys that you might have and you're carrying with you. Well, you might not have the problem. I do. I put them, just for convenience, I put them on my keychain, and over time you start to add like all these padlock keys. And you realize it is convenient to have them, because whenever you need to unlock that padlock, you don't have to go get the key. But you could store it in a safe place for when you need that padlock. Safe and relatively convenient. You don't want to put it like on a nail sitting next to where the padlock is. No. You could put it in another place, or you could lock it up someplace if you wanted to. Just keys that you don't access often, and you don't really need to carry around with you. So that's one thing I'm going to be doing when I get my next Carbocage, because I don't need all of these keys right here. And to tell you the truth, some of these are spares that are also on my other key thing, just so that I have a spare. So if I drop one key thing. Like for instance, I have 2 car keys. I have one on each keychain in case I lose one of the keychains. I've still got the spare key. Spare keys are another big problem, because if you keep a spare key, you don't want other people to be able to access it. And that's something that I've been looking into a lot lately. What I always do is I have 2 keychains. One's like a work keychain, one's my home keychain. My work keychain, I also have a house key on and a car key on, just in case I lose my other keychain. It doesn't seem to make a lot of sense on the face of it, but both keychains, some keychains, or some of the keychains I have, don't have all the keys on them. But like for instance, if I'm using my car, I like to have my mailbox key on the other keychain, so I can get out of my car, check the mailbox without turning off the car, and I'll have that key on that other keychain. Also, I have a key fob to get into a parking lot. I got to keep that on the other keychain, because if I keep it on the keychain that's on my car key, then I have to turn the car off to open the gate up to get in, which doesn't make any sense. Some people have these keychains that have like a thing where you can snap off. It has 2 rings, and can get really complex with keys at any rate. So just some things to think about, I guess. But as I was saying, with a spare key, you don't want to really hide them under a rock, like for your house door, or over the top of the door. People do this, and I see videos, and people are going, oh, you put it over the top of the door, under the doormat, under a rock. Well, everybody knows that, and the thieves particularly know that, so there are people that will go around looking for hidden spare keys. So really, you've got to find a unique place that nobody else is thinking about. So that's one thing to be aware of. One idea is to actually have a lockbox with a spare key in it. They have these little lock boxes with combinations that realtors use, and they have other similar lock boxes that they use. The idea behind having a locked key box is a good idea, but a couple things you want to be sure of. You want to make sure that it's not easy to see. You don't want it like right out in the open or anything. You want that kind of conceal, and you want it secured, so you don't want people to be able to find it and access it. Ideally, you don't want them to be able to get in. The lock helps keep that from happening, but you don't want them to be able to take it and go elsewhere, and you may not even be aware of it. They steal your lockbox, and then they have all the time in the world to open it up and get your key and come back. Another idea about spare keys is you could hide them on your car somewhere. I've known people that have, take a little piece of wire and underneath the frame somewhere, they'll hide a key for the car in case they lose their car key. It's not a great idea. Somebody could find it. It may be kind of unlikely they would even look for it. But it's still a little bit risky. Somebody could find that if it's the key for the car. If it's a key for the house, and you're away from your house, they don't know where the house is. So unless you're parked in front of your house, they're not going to find that key. If you're away, they could find the key like when you're in work or at the store or whatever, but they don't know necessarily where you live, so the key does them no good. Which brings us to another point. Some people carry a spare key in their wallet, and I used to do this myself. There's a big problem with that, though. Now think about that a minute. Okay, you have a key in your wallet, so you lose your wallet. You have ID in your wallet, probably, with your address in it, and your name and your address in it. So they find the wallet, they find the key. They could go to your house with that key and unlock the door. Now, on the bright side of it, if there is a bright side, if you lose your wallet with your key, it's probably going to take them a while to get to your house and get in there. So if you change the lock immediately, you'd be okay. So that isn't as risky, but you have to be aware of it. The other thing you've got to be aware of is you need access to the key if you lose your keys. If you have a spare key to your house, for example, and you put it under the floor mat in your car, people aren't likely to find that, and your car is usually locked anyway, right? Well, if you lock your keys in your car, or you lose the keys that have your car key and your house key on it, then that spare house key is not going to do any good, right? You can't get into your car. So you've got to think about things like that. And if all else fails, you can call a locksmith. They're kind of expensive, but they will get you in. I've had to do that before, unfortunately. And you're going to have to show them ID. So as long as you have your cell phone and your wallet with you with an ID, a locksmith will get you back into your house usually. I'm Mungo Dark Manor, and this has been Dark Manners. Whatever you do, enjoy the day, and I will see you soon.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.